Okay, Immunology, Chapter 7, Part 3. This is where we finish. The one where we finish Part 7. There you go, friend style. Yeah. Okay, all right. Get ready to meet some more kinases. They're coming. Yeah. Okay, so in our last episode, you remember that phospholipase C took a phosphatidylinositol diphosphate, PIP2, and snipped the inositol with the phosphates off of the sort of tail. So the sort of roundy part is cut off from the part that looks like legs. We called the round part, which is now an inositol molecule with the phosphate that used to connect it to the legs, and two other phosphates. That one's IP3, and that one's already done its job. It opened that calcium channel, fired off calcineurin and calmodulin. Calmodulin opened, calcineurin bound. Calcineurin then was able to dephosphorylate NFAT, and NFAT was able to go to the nucleus and transcribe some wonderful messenger RNAs with the help of all those other proteins in there. Now, let's follow the other half of the story. What happened to the legs? Yeah. So, diacylglycerol was released, and that's fine. One of the proteins that's able to bind to diacylglycerol is this one called RASGRP. And RASGRP is going to be a binding platform. It's going to bind to RAS. And RAS is going to be one of these signaling proteins. So RAS, if I remember right, I thought that was a G protein. So RASGRP is a G protein exchange factor. Here we go. So do you remember those, like in G protein coupled receptors? You probably run into those. These are these little things where you've got a protein that's holding onto a GTP and it's active, and then it uses one phosphate off the end, and now it's holding onto a GDP, and it's just like asleep. It's basically inactive. And so to reactivate that, you have to have another protein that comes along and basically pries it open and says, get rid of that old GDP. Let's put a nice fresh GTP in, and now, whoa, it's active again. It's like changing the batteries on your remote, honestly. So RASGRP is going to bind to inactive RAS. RAS is going to be one of these G proteins. It's going to open up RAS so that it can spit out the old GDP. Nobody wants that. Yeah. And so now it can bind a nice new GTP. Oh, so nice. And once it does that, then RAS is going to give that end phosphate, it's going to phosphorylate RAF. Phosphorylated RAF will then phosphorylate MEK. Phosphorylated MEK will phosphorylate ERK. And phosphorylated ERK will eventually phosphorylate some transcription factors that go to the nucleus and cause transcription. And that's how we will get that done. All right, so this is going to be a short one, and then I'm going to come back and finish this episode.